this is the lecture number 2 of Indian Constitution or Polity section. In the first lecture we see some basics about Constitution, and in this second lecture we will see historical background of Indian Constitution and the important acts related to this chapter. The first very important act is Regulating Act of 1773. Now, before starting this act, we have to know that the period between 1773 to 1858 was regarded as the company rule. The period between 1773 to 1858 was regarded as the company rule because in 1857 the Great Revolt happened, and in 1858 the rule of company was replaced by the rule of crown. Therefore, the period between 1858 to 1947 till the independence of India, this was regarded as the crown rule. During this time, crown governed us. Now the first important act of this chapter is the Regulating Act of 1773. Regulating Act of 1773. The first important provision of this act is, now this chapter is factual, so we have to see some important facts that are important for our examination. The first important provision of the Regulating Act of 1773 is this act for the first time recognized the political and administrative functions of the East India. What will be political functions and what will be the day-to-day administrative functions of East India Company were recognized for the first time by this Regulating Act of 1773. This statement can be asked in prelims. The second important fact or provision of this act is that the Governor of Bengal was designated as Governor General of Bengal. Governor of Bengal was designated as Governor General of Bengal, and the Governor of Bombay and Madras. Governors of Bombay and Madras were subordinated to the Governor General of Bengal. So by this way, this act created or laid foundation of central administration in India. Now the first Governor General of Bengal was Lord Warren Hastings, and he was provided with an executive council of 4 members to assist him. Executive Council of 4 members to assist him in his daily administrative works. The next important provision of this act is that Court of Directors. Court of Directors was the governing body of East India Company. It has to report to British government. It has to report to British government on the civil, military and revenue affairs in India. Civil, military, and revenue affairs in India. And the last provision of this act is that it provided for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta, and as such Supreme Court was established in Calcutta in 1774. And this is the first important act, that is Regulating Act of 1773. Let's revise this act. The first important provision of this act is that it for the first time recognized the political and administrative functions of East India Company. Second is Governor was designated as Governor General of Bengal, and first such Governor General was Lord Warren Hastings. The Governor General of Bengal was provided with an executive council of 4 members to assist him, and the governors of Bombay and Madras became subordinate to the Governor General of Bengal. Therefore, it laid foundation of central administration in India. And next important act is provision is the Court of Director, which was the governing body of East India Company. It has to report to British government on the affairs related to civil, military, and revenue. The last important act of the provision of this act is it provided for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta, and as such Supreme Court was established in 1774. And this Supreme Court comprising one Chief Justice and 3 other judges. The next important act is Amending Act of 1781. This is the second important act in the historical background chapter of polity, and this Amending Act of 1781 is also known as Act of Settlement. This was brought because there were certain limitations in the Regulating Act of 1773, and to overcome these limitations, British Parliament has passed this act. Largely, this act demarcates the relations between Supreme Court and Governor General Council. Governor General's Council. The most important provision of this act is that if Governor General and its council are working within their official capacity, if Governor General and its council are working within their official capacity, these things will not be taken within the jurisdiction of Supreme Court. So this is the only important provision of this act, and the next or third important act is Pitt's India Act of 1784. So, the third important act is Pitt's India Act of 1784. The first important provision is that it distinguished between the commercial and political functions of the company. What are its commercial interest or commercial functions, and what are its political functions, because it acquires certain territory in India. So it distinguishes between these functions of the company. The second important act is that it allowed the Court of Directors to manage the commercial affairs, but it created a new body known as Board of Control to manage political affairs in India. So in this way, this act created a government of a system of dual government. And the last important function of or provision of this act is that for the first time it considered the territories that acquired by the East India Company in India as British possession in India. So these are the important provisions of Pitt's India Act of 1784. Next important act is Charter Act of 1793. These charter acts are brought every 20 years. So there are Charter Act of 1793, then 1813, then 1833, then 1853. After that, Indian Council Act series was started with from 1858. So next act is Charter Act of 1793. This is the fourth important act. Between Pitt's India Act of 1784 and Charter Act 1793, one act was also passed, that was Act of 1786. Because in 1786, Lord Cornwallis was appointed as Governor General of Bengal, but he accepted this position with two demands. And these demands were that he should be given an overriding power. He should be given an overriding power to the decisions of to the decisions taken by its council, Governor General's Council, in some special cases. And the second demand was that he would also be the commander in chief. He should be commander in chief. These two demands were accepted by British government, and Lord Cornwallis was appointed as the Governor General of Bengal. Therefore, the first important provision of the Charter Act of 1793 was that this act extended these overriding power to all future Governor Generals. And the second important provision of this act was also related to the one of the demand of Lord Cornwallis was that he should be commander in chief, and the second important provision is that commander in chief need not to be a member of Governor Generals in Council unless appointed. If he is not appointed, he will not be a member of Governor General's Council. So this was the second important provision of this act, and the last important provision of this act is that the members of board of control were to be paid out of the Indian revenue. The body board of control we see in the Pitt's India Act of 1784. It has to manage political functions of East India Company, and this act provides that the members of board of control were to be paid out of Indian revenue. The next important act is Charter Act of 1813. The most important provision of this act is it abolished trade monopoly of East India Company. Now the other British company will other British company were allowed to enter India to business in India. So it abolished the trade monopoly. Abolished the trade monopoly of East India Company. But there were few exceptions in this, and these exceptions were that it does not abolish their monopoly in trade in tea and trade with China. However, these two things were also abolished in the Charter Act of 1833. So, by the Charter Act of 1833, the monopoly of East India Company was completely abolished. Next important provision of Charter Act of 1813 is that it asserted sovereignty of the British Crown over the company's territory in India. In the Pitt's India Act of 1784, we see that for the first time the territories held by the East India Company were regarded as the British possession in India. But by the Charter Act of 1813, the uh, over the company's territory, sovereignty of British Crown was asserted. This was the Charter Act of 1813. Now the next is Charter Act of 1833. First provision is it completely abolished trade monopoly of East India Company in India. And the second important provision is that the Governor General of Bengal Governor General of Bengal was designated as Governor General of India. Now it was given more power. Governor General of India was given all the civil as well as all the military powers. And the first such Governor General of India was Lord William Bentinck. The second important provision of this act is that the of Bombay and Madras governors of Bombay and Madras were deprived of their legislative power. Legislative power is law making power. Now, the third important provision of this act is it ended the activities of East India Company as a commercial body, and it was made as a purely administrative body. So it ended its functions as a commercial body. And the last important provision of this act is that by this act, a law member was introduced in the Governor General's Council. The last provision is this act introduced a law member in the Governor General's Council, and that member was Lord Macaulay. So he was appointed as a law member. And the last act for today is Charter Act of 1853. This is the last act within the company's rule. The first important provision of this act is that this act separated legislative and executive functions of East India Company. Legislative and executive functions of Governor General's Council. Legislative and executive functions of Governor General's Council. Legislative are the law-making functions, and executive functions are how to implement these laws, law implementing functions. So this is the first important provision. The second important provision of Charter Act of 1853 is that this act provided for the addition of 6 legislative councillors. 6 legislative councillors to the Indian Legislative Council. And out of these 6 legislative councillors, 4 members were to be appointed by the local governments. 4 members were to be appointed by the local governments of Bombay, Madras, Bengal and Agra. So by this act introduced for the first time local representation in the legislative councils. This is the second important provision, and the third important provision of this act is that it introduced an open competition for civil services. And accordingly, the Macaulay Committee was appointed in 1854 for this provision. So this is all about Charter Act of 1853, and by this is all about the company rule. At first we see Regulating Act of 1773, then the Amending Act of 1781, then the Pitt's India Act of 1784, followed by Charter Act of 1793. The fourth important act was Charter Act of 1813. The next important act was Charter Act of 1833, and the last important act within the company rule is Charter Act of 1853. So this is all from this class. The crown rule will be taken in the next class.